Today, for your PRINCE2 exam preparation, we are covering the project board, focusing on the three essential roles: the executive, the senior user, and the senior supplier. The project board is the highest level of management within the project structure, accountable to corporate or program management for the project's success. It provides overall direction and is the ultimate decision-making authority. The executive is ultimately accountable for the project. Think of this role as the project champion, often called the sponsor in other methodologies. The executive owns the business case, ensuring the project delivers value for money and remains aligned with business strategy. They secure funding and have the final say in decisions, especially when the board cannot reach a consensus. Next is the senior user, who represents the interests of everyone who will use the project's products. This role is responsible for specifying the needs and acceptance criteria for the project's outputs. Crucially, the senior user is accountable for realizing the benefits defined in the business case. They must ensure the project's product actually meets user needs and delivers the expected improvements. The third role is the senior supplier. This role represents the interests of those who will design, develop, and deliver the project's products. The senior supplier is accountable for the technical integrity and quality of the products created. They must ensure that the proposed solution is feasible and that the supplier resources are available and capable of doing the work. On the PRINCE2 exam, you will see scenario-based questions designed to test your understanding of these distinct responsibilities. A question might describe a conflict over a product's feature and ask which role is responsible for resolving it. For example, if there's a dispute between what is technically possible and what the users need, the executive will make the final decision, balancing the input from the senior supplier and senior user against the business case. The exam will test your knowledge that the project board manages by exception. It doesn't handle day-to-day management, which is the project manager's responsibility. The board sets tolerances for the project manager and only gets involved when those are forecast to be exceeded. A common exam trap is confusing the ultimate accountability of the executive with the day-to-day responsibilities of the project manager. Another trick is to suggest that the board is a democracy. It is not. The executive has the final say. Also, be wary of questions that imply a conflict of interest is acceptable. For instance, by combining the executive and senior supplier roles. While some roles can be combined in smaller projects, the executives must always represent the business interest impartially. To help remember these roles, use the mnemonic BUS for the three interests the board represents: business, user, and supplier. The executive represents the business interest, asking, is it viable and worthwhile? The senior user represents the user interest, asking, will it meet our needs and deliver benefits? And the senior supplier represents the supplier interest, asking, is it feasible to build? Without all three, the project is unstable. For free practice questions, AI-powered explanations, and more exam prep tools, visit openexamprep.com. That's openexamprep, all one word, .com.